What's up, you guys? It's Rob here. Today, we're going to talk about GameStop, and GameStop sadly has been pushed down by the bears ever since its earnings call because it didn't give any guidance, and this is just more food for the bears. And in my personal opinion, this is just a really stupid reason, but we've seen companies have really great earnings. Speaking of which, GameStop had really great earnings, and guess what happened? It just sunk. We've seen companies have quadruple beats like Apple, and they just sink because that is what Wall Street is doing right now. It's just short, 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 and using any reason that they possibly can to drive a stock price down. The second reason is GameStop is currently in the process of doing an at-the-money offering of 5 million shares. Now, personally, once this offering is complete, like the last one was complete, I think we're going to see a skyrocket of the price. Also, keep in mind, GameStop currently has no long-term debt. They erased that back on April 30th. In addition, the company is in the process of moving itself from a brick and mortar store to an e-commerce giant. And I don't know if y'all have seen GameStop's website lately, but they're selling a lot more things than just video games and consoles now. But guys, do me a huge favor, drop a like down on this video, hit that subscribe button, make sure that you ring that bell for the YouTube algorithm so we can get this out to as many apes as possible, because GameStop is right now, in my personal opinion, a great dip buying opportunity, because as soon as they transform into this e-commerce giant and get in the NFTs, and especially if they get into esports, oh boy, buckle yourselves in, guys. But let's take a look here at the chart for GameStop on the day. So we opened at 226.36. We saw an intraday high within the first minute at 229.15, and then just got pushed down to about 209.45. We did find a good amount of support here at 210, which was nice to see that we're still trying to respect our levels of support. Now, we did kind of bounce here around 215 a little bit, so we could say that was an intraday level support. 220 also acted as a good level support too, and 221, but I'm not going to draw lines in here, and personally, 215, I don't think it's a good level of support. But we did bounce off of 210, which is nice to see. We pretty much had a V-shaped recovery within the day, which if you bought calls when we got all the way down to our intraday low, you would have been printing some nice tendies by the end of the day. It's just me. But really, GameStop closed at 220, 250, declined down in the after hours to 220.30. And if we zoom out here to the past 5 days, you can really just see the shelf that GameStop has just fallen from 328 all the way down to 206 back here on the 11th. If we zoom out here to the 1 month, we really take a look at this, you can just see what earnings did to GameStop. GameStop had a nice run up to 345, essentially almost 345, which we haven't seen since March of this year. And now we're getting pushed all the way back down. The thing that I'm really liking is we found essentially 210-ish as the floor instead of 150 as the floor previously when we got pushed down in March, which is awesome to see within the stock. If we're establishing a new floor here, which we kind of are if you look at it, the past 3 days we've been trading above 210 and we've bounced off of it a couple times. Let's see what happens tomorrow if we break down below 210. I hope we don't. Hopefully we can establish this as a new level of floor, which will only help us leap higher in the future. But if we zoom out here really more towards the year-to-date day time frame, once Weeble decides to load, come on Weeble, no, yes, no, yay, maybe. There we go. Good job, Weeble. You can see GameStop reported its earnings on the 9th, which was the day after we pretty much touched 345, and we've pretty much gone downhill ever since. And this is just a great dip buying opportunity. Once again, there's bulls, there's bears, there's apes. Apes buy the dips and hodl. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but in my personal opinion, this is a great dip buying opportunity for the stock because on the 9th, we were trading at over $300 a share for this stock, and we're only sitting here on the 15th. And the only thing that's really fundamentally changed about this stock is the fact that they've offered 5 more million shares because they're trying to use the money for e-commerce transformation, or maybe possibly acquiring an esports company. I mean, to me, Ryan Cohen, now as the chairman of the company, is a big deal in my personal opinion. He's going to take this company in the right direction, and I definitely do trust him. And I don't see a reason why the stock won't be revisiting 345 once again, in my personal opinion. But remember, guys, it's a great dip buying opportunity on this stock right now. Just hodl, because it's not 9 days ago, 6 days ago, we were seeing $300 on the stock, and now we're seeing $220, and not much has changed. Just remind yourselves of that. But let's take a look here at the short interest data within Ortex. So we did see a decrease in our short interest of change at 2.93%. There was a net bar change of 366,300 shares to the downside. Our current short interest of free float is sitting at 16.45%, and our short interest is sitting around 10 million-ish shares. The thing that I want to point out here is this green line that I've drawn on here. And the current average age in days time frame is 45.39 days. Now what this indicates is the average age of a loan, a short loan out on GameStop. Well, if we go back 45 days ago, we're going back to about the beginning of April. So let's take a look at beginning of April. Where were we trading? Around 193, 183 at a low for the day. So these shorts are definitely underwater at their current positions. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because of DTC005. And what this is basically doing is preventing the borrowing of shares more than once. So market makers had the ability, apparently, to say, well, I own 10 shares of GME. Well, I'll lend them out to 5 different people, and I'll lend out the 10 different shares. So 10 shares became 50, which created an artificial supply within the stock because they had the ability to do this. Were they doing this? Maybe, maybe not, but it was a possibility that could be going on here. Now that this rule was filed, and we can take a look here, effective date, the proposed rule change would become effective immediately upon filing is awesome news for the stock. Also, we will be hearing about NSCC 2021-002 next week, which is talking about increasing the collateral requirements through what's called SLDs, supplemental liquidity deposits. So if the shorts are currently underwater with their position and they're going to be talking about increasing SLD, things might start turning here very quickly for GameStop, and we might start seeing some shorts not having the ability to hold their positions. Just saying here, it's a theoretical possibility. But let's take a look at Stocko Tracker here. So we currently have 10,524 calls in the money. At $250, we add another 7,052 calls. There's currently 1.3 million short shares of AMC available to borrow. 36,586 short ETFs available to borrow of various ETFs to short ETFs. Apologize about that. But the thing that I really want to take a look here is at the option status. So this week alone, it is quad witching week, which means we do have quarterly and monthly options expiring this Friday. So we currently have 69,358 calls out of the money, 10,524 calls in the money. But the more important thing that I want to look at here is the fact that we have open interest throughout multiple weeks here. And that is something that I definitely do see. So if we don't see an increase, there is still sentiment that is going to remain within GameStop. And the apes are here until we go to the moon, guys, and get our tendies and enjoy our moon pies. The thing that I really want to point out here is on the 16th of July, we have 405,424 puts currently out of the money. And then here on 1/21/2022, we have 270,435 puts currently out of the money. What would be a better thing to do right now is to have all of these puts expire out of the money, which would cost those shorts, I'm sure, a crap ton of money, because their puts expired completely worthless. It would be something that I would love to see happen. But really, that's what I got for you guys on GameStop today. The chart, yeah, we've gotten beaten down and all that kind of stuff, but we have seen where we can go. So when in doubt, zoom out and remain strong in your conviction. Look at the reason why you're holding the stock. If your reason why hasn't changed, then what has changed within the stock that's causing you to feel that selling pressure? And if it's your emotion, remove it because the emotion does not belong within the stock market. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.